Championships 2020, business end of the championships. This is where the drama will be played in Lufberg, Leila Arena. I'm Alison Walker, alongside me is Sander Rovag, and we'll be bringing you live commentary on the women's semi-final between Sweden and Russia. The winners will take on Scotland tomorrow in the final. The losers play Denmark for the bronze. Here's the Russian lineup. The lead, Ekaterina Galkina. Second, Margarita Fomina. Lyudmila Privikova is at third, and Anna Sidorova is the skip. And Sweden, representing the home nation, Margarita Sigfridsson is the lead, and the skip, Maria Wennerstrom at second. The third, Christina Bertrup, and playing the last stones, the fourth, Maria Pritz. Stone colours, Russia, the reds, and Sweden, the yellows. Huge amount at stake in this game. The Swedes lost out to Scotland in the 1-2 playoff, but a second chance to get to the final. Russia beat Denmark 7-6, played some steady stuff. And a place in the final at stake. And Zander, you've seen a lot of these two teams this week. What do you reckon?
I think normally I would favour Sweden, but it's Russia that's come off a good note here, beating Denmark. Sweden kind of losing 2 games in a row now, to first to Czech Republic in the last round robin game, and now to Scotland today. So maybe not as hot as they were earlier this week. Won 7 games straight after losing to Denmark in the opening draw. So I think it's going to be quite a tight game.
Yeah, the Swedes are usually so solid, but a couple of teams have found a chink in the armour. And the Russians have a good week. They've built a bit of momentum ahead of this game. And I'm wondering that defeat to Scotland by Sweden, Sander, is that more significant than we think in terms of impacting in this game?
You know, I thought maybe Sweden would ping back after that loss to the Czech Republic and beat Scotland today. Thought it was going to set off a spark. It might do the same thing here. Losing to Scotland might spark them, but somehow I think it may like demotivate them. We'll see if the energy is there. It's quite calm here on the first end, pretty open. So
Margarita Fomina, the second for the Russian team. From Moscow. Lyudmila Privikova. The third for Russia, also from Moscow. 9 years on this team, so a lot of experience. First played in the World Junior Championships in 2001. Swedish third, Christina Beltrup.
Yeah, Sweden looking to score an easy 2 here in the first end, unless Russia could play a double. Certainly one of the most experienced players here this week, Ludmila Privikova. Won the European Curling Championships back in 2006. Same year she won the World Juniors. And she's actually played 96 games at the European Curling Championships. And she's only 26 years old.
Bronze last year in Moscow as well. No daily love to get the gold this time. 6 years later. Russian skip, Anna Sidorova. Been on the team for 4 years. And throwing the last stones for the Swedish team, Maria Pritz. Had a chat with her skip about the plan. Just monitoring it as it goes along. Gets rid of the red. And the Scotland women's team, of course, all tucked up and rested. Watching these two play this out. Awaiting the winners. And that's a nice position to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, quite. Now, just taking a look at Anna Sidorova again here. Trying the slash double. Maybe not. Maybe just looking for the hit and roll here. In front of the other set of the second yellow stone. Does roll in. And after last shot, I believe. You know, fourth player Maria Pritz for the Swedish team has played 56 games at World and European Curling Championships. But Anna Sidorova has played 78, and she's only 21 years old. So
it's a lot of games.
It's been they've played a lot of games. I'm guessing it's down to The Russians really only had a whole group of players that has been playing all the championships for many years. In Sweden, you'll have a lot more competition, and you'll see.
And I think also with a view to the Olympics, they want their girls to get as much experience as they possibly can, because they want that gold medal in Sochi.
Yeah, I think the Russians are kind of putting all their money in one team, while Sweden, you'll have at least, I think, 3, 4, maybe more teams that could perform well on the international scene.
Yeah, I think they have a lot more strength and depth. And this is nicely played.
I thought Russia was able to roll in for shot, actually.
A few of the coaches and other teams supporting tonight. The Swedish men, of course, in the final tomorrow, and really love to make it a double.
So interesting, Sweden thought they were laying shot, just drew the forfeit to score 2, but Russia wants to measure here. It would be quite the big mistake to draw here if they weren't laying shot to begin with.
Yep, this is the sensible thing to do. Find out exactly what the position is. Get the measure done.
The umpires, as always, very good at hiding the needle.
Yeah, we couldn't quite spot that there, could we? Let's see which one she points to. She's pointing to yellow.
So it will be a score of 2 for Sweden.
So nice start for the Swedes after the first end. Russia 0, Sweden 2. Swedish fans out in force in this arena, which is normally used for ice hockey. Done a wonderful job converting it into a top-class curling facility, at least for this week. What is the Russian style, Sander? What are they known for, this Russian women's team?
That's kind of hard to tell. I think you know, they're better at being up in games and defending than they are chasing games. But I kind of feel that they can do both. And certainly the same thing for Sweden, although very good at front runner. So they're so good at the draw play and tactically very strong. The Swedes, I think that one of their stronger suits is the tactics.
Whereas Russia's maybe better at the shot making.
Yeah, well, I think the Swedes are as good as shot makers. So again, I would usually favour the Swedish team. It's all down to who's on form here today. I think Russia can beat them if they're able to play a bit more shots than the Swedes. But sometimes they do lack in tactical knowledge. They do tend to do a few mistakes here and there.
So bad decisions.
A couple. Not too many. Less every year.
Yep. Yeah, the more they play on this stage, the more experience. Absolutely crucial in curling.
Now they have a new coach as well. Thomas Lips from Switzerland. He might bring some...
He knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he could be a good man for the Russians as they head into the Olympics. Maria Wennerström looking for the hit here.
He's hoping to get the other one.
Yeah, really wanted to roll in towards the centre line. I think you'll just see the Russians ignore that Yellowstone in the forefoot, just come right around.
There are some other very important games going on in the arena tonight. 3 sheets being used in total. There's the challenge game between Finland and France. And the men's semi-final between Denmark and the Czech Republic.
That would be the bronze final, would it not?
Yeah, bronze final, yes. And there's the Czechs supporting the team. And Linda Klimova, the Czech skip, with an extra fan in their group.
The Russians couldn't quite come around the corner guard here. We'll see Wennerström play another hit. This time a little better. Yellowstone just played by Wennerström might just block off the draw path a little bit, so the Russians are electing to play the hit and roll off the winger instead. Maybe just hit some fresh pebble out there. One's going to roll out.
It rolled all right. Right out. And we would have expected these teams to be here at the end of week, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah, certainly. Sweden was a favourite, in my opinion, and Russia, obviously, one of the better teams out there. As we mentioned earlier, took the bronze back in Moscow last year, and It's no big surprise that we have these two teams in the semi-final today.
World silver medalists, of course, and European silver medalists in 2011. This team,
Sweden.
yes. 2010 European gold. Not this team.
Some of it, I would believe. At least Bertrup, it was Stina Victorson skipping that team back in Champéry. She quit curling after securing that gold, and they brought on Maria Pritz to fill the 4th position, and she's done quite well.
Yep, they seem to have moulded together over the last couple of years.
Wasn't quite enough to get gold last year, only losing out to Eve Muirhead in the final. But if they win here over Russia, they'll play her again in the final, so maybe
chance for revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
On 2 counts, because they lost them in the 1-2 earlier today. So they've had a busy day. And how much difference do you think, you can hear the home support there, how much difference do you think that makes to a team in your own country? Is it a help or is it extra pressure?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Could easily be both. Could be a bit distracting at times as well. You might be trying to focus and then you might hear a silly song or something, but it might just cheer you up, all depending on what's the situation in the game, I think.
But how much do you really notice when you're on the ice and in the zone?
Not too much, actually. If you're focused enough, you're gonna close that out.
You shouldn't be distracted, I guess. Not that I've ever played at this elite level.
I only played the World Junior Championships myself. Last time I was in Östersund, just last March. We had some fans come in. Wasn't much help though.
You can't blame the fans.
But it's very nice. The best thing about it is maybe after you win the game and they'll be there and you know they've seen the game, and it's nice to celebrate with them after.
And being in your own bed and in your own environment that you know is quite nice too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that helps. I haven't played any big championships back home, but when I played my first World Juniors in Perth, I had already been there the year before and played the Perth Masters. I slept in the same hotel, played in the same rink, and I know a lot of people in Scotland, so I felt quite at home. And I think that was kind of an advantage. And you're used to the food, all these things kind of help you.
And a lot of players this week have been a little bit under the weather with some food. We don't know if it was food or cold or one or two in several teams. But funnily enough, none of the Swedes.
Well, I wonder if maybe third player Sebastian Kreb for Nicholas Edin was feeling a bit ill. I can't remember. But yeah, it's certainly been a bug that's gone around this week. But we do have alternate players.
And they have been utilised and performed well. But these two teams have been fine. So no excuses.
Вариант вести около 4 фута, если будет хотя бы чуть-чуть подмазан, тогда есть смысл. Потому что все остальное может так выйти, что я чуть-чуть цепляю 4 фута, она в упор привозит к нему, Ну, если там нельзя займать первый. Вопрос не привозки, но придется собирать один, пипку есть. А так у нас достаточно большое место, чтобы сделать фол.
Just chatting there about the weight, presumably.
Delicate shot here called by Sidorova. Could have ignored this back heel and just play the draw around the top yellow. But look at the hit and roll to the side here. I think she's done quite well with it. That's absolutely perfect there.
She was concerned though.
Yeah, I thought maybe she overcooked the line call there. But as you see, medium rare. Decision time for Sweden now. They could come down with the draw here and freeze it and take away the chance for two. But that would be the only way you could give up three.
There's the Swedish bench. Lindholm, the Swedish alternate, and Fredrik Hallström.
And Agnes Knockenhauer. That would be the alternate player in the middle there. She's been quite helpful this week, I would think. Out every evening matching stones for the team. And probably has a couple of other chores as well. Maybe taking care of the brush bag and making sure they all have snacks and drinks for the games.
Hugely important role in the team aside from playing.
Yeah, but always ready if something happens as well. So
she's a graduate of the Swedish Curling Academy.
So big scrub here from the Swedish girls. Really need to get past this top yellow. It's not going to. Very close though. Just ticks off the top. So that's how you give away three.
Russians straight in there. They know what they want here. It's a real opportunity.
Never. I didn't mind the call there. There was enough room to come down onto the red, but certainly couldn't be narrow. And this is a big shot for Anna Sidorova, just a nose hit, but always a wee bit of pressure already, knowing you can secure a lead here. Come right back in the game with a three.
Last stone of the second end. No problem there for Anna Sidorova and Russia. Right back in this game. 3 shots. Bit of hand slapping. And after 2 ends, Russia in front, Russia 3, Sweden 2.
Katarina Galkina playing 91% so far, but you know it's only through 2 ends. But if she can keep those numbers for the whole game, it'll be quite impressive.
And it keeps things simple for the skip in the end. If the players at the front end can do the job.
Galkina is certainly one of the most experienced players from Russia. 313 official games on the international scene. That would be including winter university games and juniors, but she's been out there playing a lot.
These girls are living and breathing curling at the moment. leading up to 2014. They want to make sure they get that gold medal.
Yeah,
in their own country.
Galkina only 24 as well. It's a young team. The last world champion for the men's side was Glenn Howard. He was 50. Can you imagine if these girls play for another 20 years, how much experience they would have? But motivation is absolutely the key, I believe.
But if you're good enough, it doesn't matter what age you are.
Just giving you an update on the other games going on here. In the bronze final between the Czech Republic and Denmark, it was Denmark picking up a steal of 1 on the first end, and now the Czechs have come back with a 2 in the second, leading the game 2 shots to 1. Same score over on the challenge game between France and Finland. Finland was forced to win in the first, and France took 2 in the second.
Yes, it's all very close. Long way to go though. It's 3-2 to Russia in this one.
It's even a longer way to go for France and Finland. They're playing best out of 3 games, so even if let's say Finland wins this game, they need to win 1 more. First game will be played here in the A arena, the next game in the B, and if it's tied after 2 games, they'll play the third one in the B arena as well. And just to make clear, the challenge game is obviously the game to secure the last spot in the World Curling Championship, so it's quite the important game. But in our feature game, it's all about getting to the final of the European Curling Championships.
And that final tomorrow morning. Scotland await the winners between these two.
It's a pretty tight schedule, actually.
There's not much time to recover between games, is there?
No, and even after this game's done, which is another 2 hours from now, we'll have to get up early in the morning and get ready for the final. So that might just be an advantage for Scotland, which can rest a lot longer. They could be sleeping now if they wanted. Such a long week of curling. If Sweden makes it to the final, they've played, let me think, nine games in round robin, 3-4 page, semi, and then final. So 12 games in, well, a week or so.
It's a lot of energy.
10 days, 9 days.
And a lot of stamina required. And there's so many quality teams now, you can't afford to step off the gas.
So too many stones in front here for the Swedes. Would like to pick off a couple of Russian stones, pretty close to making a double.
Ludmila Privakova, 81%, but as you say, Sander, still very early in the game.
So it looks like Russia is just going to be guarding this red stone on the 1 foot for a while. So Birchup again, looking for the double peel. Maybe just a bit tight here. And it's going to move a lot of granite.
That had an interesting outcome.
Well, does open everything up here. But sadly removes her own yellow. So down to skip stones here.
It won't be a big end, that's for sure.
No, I think the maximum score here would be 2.
I would go along with that.
Не в эту сторону, да, чтобы было подвойное пишло, а тогда чуть-чуть сюда выше. А это здесь будет. Но если будет переваливать.
So I'm looking for the tap up. I might be tempted to just come around the
Swedish
red.
fans catching a sight of themselves.
Yeah, let's just call that an energy drink.
Enjoying themselves, enjoying the curling and watching their team, supporting their team. Sorry, Xander, what's the plan?
They're looking for the tap up on their own red here.
Sidorovas at 86%. The Russian skip. Nice last stone in the previous end. Wee bit of a grimace there.
Yeah, should have swept it. This kind of allows Sweden to play the hit and roll in behind the corner guard.
Maria's at 66, which is well down.
Yeah, pretty sure you'll see those numbers improve through the course of this game. Might improve already here with this amazing hit and roll.
Yep, she pulled that one out of the bag.
How much can the Russians see here? Anna Sidorova asking her lead player Galkina for advice from the hack. Might see enough to just come on down and tap it out with some soft control weight. Or you could just come around your own red here.
Я вот так вот смотрю, я еще туда не попадаю. Этого угла будет достаточно вполне.
So it seems like they have elected to play the soft weight at the solo. Spending some time here. Might just be a bit unsure about the ice here, how much it would curl. All over the guard. No second prize either.
Yeah, she could have got lucky there, but she didn't. And there's the Russian men's team watching on. I think they've just seen themselves.
Yeah, on the big jumbotron here in the Löf Bagley Arena.
I love the name Jumbotron.
It's nice to have, though, for curling as well as hockey.
Last stone then of this third end. And a mistake by Sidorova has opened the door for Sweden. And in that door goes a count of 2. And the home support enjoyed that. And it's the Swedes back in the lead now after 3 ends. Russia 3, Sweden 4. Fans of all nationalities here. Switzerland, Sweden, France, Austria. I saw having some food in the restaurant, coming over from the B group. So we're into the fourth end of this intriguing battle for a place in the final of the Gruyère European Curling Championships. Scotland already through. Will it be Sweden? Or will it be Russia meeting them in the final tomorrow morning?
Повыше, воу! Девочек, нет. Странно не валит, мы еще выше.
An update on events elsewhere in the arena. Finland are leading France 3-2. In the bronze game between the Czech Republic and Denmark. It was first blood to Denmark in the first end. But the Czechs with a 3-1 lead there.
Both lead players not quite being able to put the stones in the right spot.
Между ними надо.
It's pretty open in this end, Xander, would you say?
It's pretty open down the centre line, but we do have some corner guards in play here. So it's a pretty nice setup for Russia. They can just get a stone in behind one of them. So looking at the hit and roll here from Fomina.
You can see the line slightly curling. You saw from the Swedish skip what she hopes will happen.
Feeling that shot again by Bertrup.
That was exactly what her skip wanted.
But even with that nice hit and roll, it's not looking, I wouldn't say too good for the Swedes. Russia has got pretty much what they wanted here. That's an open center line. Being able to make a play around those corner guards. So it might just be looking for a freeze, a wee tap up here. Oh, that stone just played by Bertrup. But you kind of have to make your shot, so just just going to rub off the top yellow. Actually, didn't end up in the worst spot. Stuck. Is going to ask a question of Bertrup with our second stone.
Trappen är helt okej. Noll. Ja! Hårt! Nej! Ja! Nej! 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 Ja!
It's close, it's close. That was a whisker. Past the guard.
I think I've never seen Skip Sigfridsson so spread out on the ice before. Really up for that line call.
Sviplinjen! Sviplinjen!
It's great when it works.
Åh, vet!
That was a
Vet!
line call of
Svip!
the styles of Andy Capp.
Svip! Åh! Åh! Den! Åh!
So it's nice to see the Swedes fired up, and here I'll see a really good shot by Ludmila Privikova.
Yeah, that was a great response.
Yeah, semi-final just shaping up to be a good one here.
Dra inte hela.
See it here again. Nice communication, gets the line absolutely perfect. Just a little tap, but does lie in a very nice spot.
Jag tycker nästan att vi skulle försöka gå. Bara trycka ut den lite. Va? Ja, clearing om du träffar det du ser.
So,
Bit of a discussion here.
Annars har vi den. Ja.
yeah, I
What's
think-
she worried about?
No, it's one of two options here, I think. Either you try and sneak the guard with some peel weight, try and spring that red one off,
Ja, det är okej.
or you might just come down and just tap on the face of the red and try and loosen up things. Lose their yellow backing,
Spelar du
but
inte
they're going to play the
40?
peel. And we've seen the stones be quite lively, so
Ja, 60 då.
might get more action than you think on the red. It might just be the houses that are lively.
Nej! Ja! Nej!
I want to come pretty close to the guard. Doesn't sound too tight, but as you see, that's going to be enough to spill that red quite far,
Not all the way out.
at least for Sweden to lie 2 here. Maybe 3. It's kind of hard to tell. Camera angle does lie sometimes. Privikova is taking a look here. So a freeze attempt here by Anna Sidorova. Really a tuck slide from her.
Se ned då!
Really,
Åh, ned!
really on her toes
Skriv!
coming out the hack.
Åh! Åh, ned!
Very close to perfect, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. If Pritz was able to get rid of that first red, I think you'll see her making this shot.
In theory, this one is slightly easier.
Yeah, just a nose hit here would be nice. Even if you're a hair high, you might get it. But I think maybe the Swedes are looking to roll a bit to the left of our screen here. Maybe just maybe tuck a piece in behind the guard. Just force Sidorova to play the cool draw. So Maria Pritz will play her last stone. Oh, that's fourth end. Looking to lie 2, maybe 3. Doesn't matter really. It's going to be a force on Russia. And I think you might just see her play the hit here. Maybe just a heavy draw down onto the yellow. Sidorova doesn't look too decisive at times. Kind of spends a lot of time on things that are quite obvious. Just maybe not sure of the ice, where to put the broom. But really just play the shot, so shouldn't be too hard. You tighten up the ice maybe a wee bit, and you throw a bit more weight. Just kind of a tap on the yellow here. Last stone of the fourth end. Looking to score one. It's all about communication here. There's a bit of panic here. Might be over curling the shot. But no. It's going to be a pretty good shot from the Russian skip as they pick up 1 point, and it's going to be 4 each here, all tied up after 4 ends.
She seems worried there.
Well, it's the semi-final of European Curling Championships.
Yep, huge amount at stake. We keep saying we are only chatting about it. They're playing in it, and it's 4 apiece. It's the Russian supporters.
There's a national wheelchair team of Norway. On the left is Rune Lorentzen, the skip.
And how have they fared?
I don't know, to be honest. I know they've the skip there has been a world champion at least one time. I wasn't prepared for the wheelchair curling championships yet.
But here supporting Norway, who are of course in the men's final tomorrow. Ekaterina Galkina, 84% game accuracy. So after 4 ends, gone down slightly.
Do Rune Lorentzen some justice and say that he's won the World Championships 2 times.
Goodness.
2007 and 2008.
Good stuff.
And if I'm not mistaken, they live in a town called Halden, which is very close to Sweden. So I think might just be a bit more than an hour's drive to here, actually.
So not too far for him to come. And there's been some great action here this week.
21 свип. Свип. Свип линия.
It's been a real treat to see some of the quality on show here.
Свип, да, свип.
These teams making it look an awful lot easier than it actually is.
Jag kan tänka mig samma väg.
Score apiece in this European Championship game between Sweden and Russia.
Vänta, långt ut.
A prize, a place in the final to take on Scotland tomorrow morning.
Ja då. Det är okej. Okej linje. Dra om ni kan. Måste dra, ni måste dra. Kör! Kör! Lite till. Bra linje nu.
Margarita Fomina, 88%. She's actually gone up from N2.
Нет.
Just remind you what's happening elsewhere
Det finns liksom inte så
between
mycket
France and Finland. It's now 5-3 to France.
Ja, båda kommer vara
The
öppna
French
då.
taking a 3 in the fourth end.
Vi kan inte
And
dra
in the
den
other
fler än
game,
bajta 4. Ska vi köra den där?
3-2 to the Czech Republic over Denmark. And they are into the fifth end. As are we in our featured game. As we see Maria Wennerstrom's numbers, her game accuracy 86% at second.
Ja. Bara stanna nu då, tror jag. Kom med. Ja. Bra linje på den. Där är vi. Nära. Ja. Det där är bra. Ja, jättebra. Bra spel.
This would be part of the Turkish curling team, and maybe I think I saw Poland as well there.
Yep. So many nations now members of the World Curling Federation. The net is spreading wide and far. Everyone wants to be part of this great sport.
Yeah. Turkey's been coming in quite strong, actually. They're just built a really nice facility in Erzurum up in the mountains of East Turkey. I was down there for the World Mixed Doubles. It's a pretty nice arena. It's almost like a big hockey arena, but it's dedicated to curling, which isn't too common.
And that will help the game no end in that country,
Bra linje.
having their own place.
And they have hosted, I believe, 3, I would say, bigger championships in just under a year or so.
There was World
2 years.
University, wasn't there? And the
Yeah, Winter University Games, and then the World Mixed Doubles, and just recently in September the European Mixed Championships. So they're quite enthusiastic about curling already, Turkey. So it's nice to see.
And it's the same with Latvia. The Women's World Championships are going to be there in March next year. And they've only been a member of the federation for about 10 years. So the game really developing there too. All good news for curling. Kamila Privikova, the Russian third, 81%. Sticking at that.
Very
a little bit
close.
unlucky there.
Yeah, wanted some movement on that yellow. Couldn't quite get it. Looking pretty red in front of the house here.
Very red.
So he's going to play an open hit on the wing here to light 2, but he's going to give Russia a chance to play a tap up on one of those reds in front of the house. 76% for Bertrup.
She's played some key shots and they've come off.
Plays another one here. So Russia is not going to take the risk. Just going to play the open hit here. So rolls a bit too far, but
sticks around.
Pretty decent. Here's a Hungarian women's team with Ildiko Zekeres second from the right. The skip.
Another developing curling nation. They've got some good coaches in to help them now. These two countries, well established curling nations, always likely to be towards the top end and in the medal hunt. But all to play for in this game. Nothing to choose between the two teams.
So I'm not sure what happened here. I'm guessing the stone picked up some debris on the ice.
It was a bit wayward.
And you see the Russians kind of cleaning the ice more than usual before the shot, so I'm guessing that was a pickup from Bertrup. But it did kind of block off that tap up on the red though. Or maybe not. Looking at the gap here, the Russians want to run their tight guard back. Or they could just draw here on the end turn.
And Sidorova, 77%. The Russian skip.
Plenty of rotation on that stone. Looking like a chopper coming down the ice.
Yeah. It's whirling. But if it whirls, that's fine. If it ends up where they want it.
Not quite. I do believe Sweden can see enough for this one to just play that and roll, too. Just going to make sure not to leave the double for Anna Sidorova. Might be looking to come to the inside here.
Yeah, so the end position with the Swedish stone, very, very important.
I så fall måste vi spela en 40-försök. Jag tycker vilken är bra, bara vi ser till att komma ut hit. Känns det som en 30 då?
Could play the nose hit here. Will leave a double for Sidorova, but then the enter and draw would be there to score one. And if she doesn't make it, obviously, she'll be able to score two. Playing the hit roll to the wing would be a better result if she doesn't leave the double. But if she does, she can stick it in behind the guard, and it's going to be quite difficult for her to score one. So, got to make this perfect. Can't afford to roll halfway, but they're actually going to be all over the guard here.
Didn't even get that far.
I don't know what happened there. There's a pretty big miss from Maria Pritz, looking to catch the high side of that red stone. And clipped half the guard. So
sometimes it just happens.
This could spell trouble for Sweden. But first, Anna Sidorova needs to play this run back. Remove the yellow. I'd like to stick the shooter in front.
Maybe things are just getting a little bit tense out there.
Yeah, pretty good shot by Anna Sidorova. She'll lie four here. And
yeah, looking good for the Russians.
You'd expect Maria Pritz to be able to make this nose hit, though. Did over curl the first one, so maybe good that she can throw the out turn here, just reset. Sometimes it just doesn't feel good to throw the same shot again if you just missed the first one. You might be overthinking it. You might overthrow it. You might think that, you might think you shouldn't be overthrowing it, and then you underthrow it.
Overanalyzing is not good for anyone. Last stone of the fifth end. Just wants to make sure.
Looking pretty much in control here. Not too much panic. Nose hit for Maria Pritz, and a score of 1 for Sweden here in the fifth end. So after 5, it's going to be a 5 shots to 4 lead for Sweden. But when we come back from the halftime break, it's Russia with a hammer. So pretty even. So you see the scoreboard here. Russia picking up that big 3 in the second. But Sweden in the lead halfway through. Giving you a quick update on the other games as well. It was France that picked up 3 in the fourth end to make it a 5-shots-to-3 lead, but just here the crowd go wild here for Finland. It's Karlstad with a big shot, not sure what the score is, but over in the bronze final we see the Czech Republic picking up 3 in the fifth to make it a 6-shots-to-2 lead, so really going at it for their first international medal. Well, European Curling Championships medal anyway.
Yep, they're another country that progressed incredibly well. They've taken some notable scalps this week, the Czech Republic. And a team definitely to watch.
Yeah, really nice to see them maybe pick up a medal here. We saw the Danish team pick up the bronze last year, so they, don't really need another one.
They always want more, and they want a better colour.
Yeah,
that's the next thing.
Denmark has silver from Champri, bronze from Moscow last year.
But the skip hasn't been well this week, Rasmus Sejerna.
Well, he played some amazing curling against Norway yesterday, but didn't help them out in the end. Missed his last shot to force Norway to take a 1 on the extra end. Wasn't able to do that. Norway scored 2, won the game.
And that was it. And they're struggling a bit against the Czech Republic. But in our featured game, it's all to play for. You wouldn't know who to put your money on. So Scotland will just have to sit and wait. Who would they prefer, do you think, Sander, in the final?
Scotland. I think maybe Russia. Because
they've lost to Sweden once this week. Will that in the round robin?
They lost quite big.
Yeah.
But
then they beat them in the 1-2 in the key game.
Well, I think you heard Eve saying in one of our interviews this week that she'd be happy to meet anyone, but I think maybe she'd like to play Russia rather than Sweden. It's not always fun to play the home nation in front of a big crowd either, so.
Yeah, it'll be a bit more even in terms of the support, although there are a lot of Scots fans here.
But, it'd be nice for everyone. I think if Sweden made it to the final, there'd be a bit more people here and you'd have a good atmosphere.
Yep, they are very vocal in their support. So, the half-time break then. Which will be the happier team, do you think?
I think they're pretty evenly happy. Yeah. And just to tell you the halftime score between Finland and France, no wonder it was a big hoo-ha over the last one from Karlstad. It was a score of 5, a fistful for Karlstad and Finland, and the fifth to make it 8-shots-to-5 after 5 ends.
Goodness, that's shattering for France. However, only 4 shots behind, and still got a few ends to go. You're watching live action from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2012 from the Lufberg Leila Arena. The fans are out in force, supporting their teams this evening and enjoying the featured game. A game which will decide which team joins Scotland in the final of the European Curling Championships 2012.
So you saw Sigfridsson slipping to the back of the rings here with her first one. So just looking to maybe half check the second one around the corner guard. Just don't wanna come too deep with it. Just top of the 8 foot maybe. But she's thrown this a bit too light, and that's pretty disastrous for Sweden. Now Russia with 2 checked guards on the right hand side of the sheet. And they are allowed to come around with the draw. So if Galkina can put this red one just in and around the 2 guards, it'd be pretty nice for Russia, although Galkina not looking too happy with her effort. It's not looking too bad, maybe a bit shy in weight. Yeah, that was a problem.
Just keeping the others company there.
Clearing. Nej. Det behövs. Ja, det är lite tjockare, okej.
So Sweden would like to remove a couple of stones here. Got to be careful not to catch this one too high. You might spin the red one in, but it might just get a little drag on your own yellow and spin a yellow stone in here. Couldn't quite see the angles, but see what happens here. Not too much movement on that yellow, and not quite enough movement on the red either, it seems. So it's just going to cling onto the back of the rings.
Have to work this one quite hard. And they're after this red one on the outside here. How's the line there, Sander? Do you think?
Yeah. It's pretty hidden. So looks like Sweden will go after the guards here. Might be able to make the double run. Okay. Not too lucky, but it could be worse. That red could have hung on for Russia to lie to. And remember, it's the Russian with the last stone here, so don't want to leave too many reds around the house. Lyudmila Privikova with a chance now to split the rings. Drove it out to help here. Want to drag this one down. I was actually looking for the freeze to the redstone just outside the rings, but it's going to pull up a bit short. Not too bad.
Could still be quite useful there.
Yeah, unless Sweden makes some amazing shots and Russia plays the simple shots well. They're looking at 2 so far, but we know this girl could very well change that. Kristina Bertrup's such a shot maker.
All in the angles.
Just going to roll a bit too far. Very close. It's not the 3 feet it rolls too far, it's the centimetre or 2. Doesn't curl enough.
Yeah, that's the sore bit.
So put a wee bit more weight on this draw here. Privikova. Maybe too much. That's a big mistake from the Russian third.
Ooh, opportunity missed. Opened the door for the Swedes. They probably didn't expect that.
So weren't able to play the simple shots well here. And now Maria Pritz looking at the run back.
She still has to produce the goods.
Sounds pretty close. Looks too easy. But trust me, it's not that easy.
I trust you.
It's a very good shot by Maria Pritz.
This end, not all what the Russians had hoped it would be. It's looking good for a while.
Well, still has a chance here. If they just make the roll in underneath the corner guard, Pritz will be forced to play the same shot over again. I might just have to roll the other way. I wasn't on that call early enough, although wouldn't have mattered really to roll off it or 2 more. I'm pretty sure Pritz will avoid the jam at the back. Just nose hit here, maybe a hair high. Might just be the first blank in the game. I think the Swedes will be quite happy if the Russians back here. And then they could try and force Russia to take a 1 in the 7th. They'll be all tied up, and they'll have hammer for the 8th end. Nice shot by Maria Pritz.
What would you do here? Would you blank it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would blank it here.
There's the Russian bench. Having a word with her as well.
There's no... it's not a difficult shot, it's just a peel for the back.
But they'll be thinking ahead, won't they? What does that shaking of the head mean, I wonder?
Maybe not happy with how the end turned out. Looked like scoring 2 before Trebikova threw her second draw through the house.
Last stone, 6th end. 5-4 to Sweden.
Nice shot by Sidorova and all black. The 6th end.
See, they are listening to you after all.
I'm a master of sign language.
After 6, it's Russia 4, Sweden. Still Russia 4, Sweden 5.
I can tell you that Denmark has fought back in the bronze medal game. They scored 2 in the 6th end. But still a 2-point lead for the Czech Republic. 6 shots to 4. They're playing in the 7th end. The very end we're going to be seeing here in our future game between Sweden and Russia.
The Swedish lead, skip, 73% game accuracy. Perhaps not quite as good as it should be at this level.
So the Russians might be playing the scoreboard here. Although I think it'd be okay to push for a score here. Seems like they're going to try and blank the 7th end. Would rather score in the 8th. So game plan might be to blank here, try and score 2 in the 8th, force Sweden to a single in the 9th, and then come home with hammer all tied up, which would be nice.
Sounds like a plan. Of course, that will not happen.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, I think there are a few twists and turns in this game yet.
Yeah, curling is not too predictable.
And especially when there's so much to play for. Mistakes are going to happen. You'll get the brilliant shots. And there's the Danish skip, Lene Nielsen. Her team awaits the losers of this game.
France hasn't been able to generate a multiple score after the halftime break. They were forced to take a win on the 6th end, so they will still trail Finland by 2 points after that major 5 in the 5th.
We haven't seen many of those this week, have we? 5s.
I saw one yesterday when Nicholas Edin played the Czech Republic in the 1-2 page. But no, not too many. We have a saying in Norway that a 5-ender has a tendency to affect a curling game.
Yes.
It's pretty obvious.
Yes. And?
That's it.
Oh.
It's more of a joke rather than a meaningful saying.
Sort of
Not too sure if
irony or something. You're really funny, you.
Oh, yes.
Really funny. And this may look straightforward, but these guys still have to concentrate on these shots.
No, I actually remember playing a mixed final in Norway. Won the final, only scored in one end. Scored a 5. And we played 8 ends. So, yeah.
Well, if you're going to score 5.
Hopefully.
Was it game over?
Hmm?
Was it game over?
I think there was like 4 blank ends, and then forced the other team, took a 5, and then they couldn't come back. So I'm hoping that we're not going to see a score of 5 here though in our future game. We'd like to keep this one tight. I want to see Russia down by 1 with last on for the 10th end. That'd be the most interesting. Hopefully a bit more interesting than this end.
Stina Bertrup, game accuracy 72% at third. We've seen her make some smashing shots, but there's obviously been a few that haven't worked. See the score behind. Sweden 5, Russia 4. As we look at Ludmila Privikova's accuracy, 76%. She's the best out of the team so far.
Don't really understand this call of putting up a corner guard. I know there's obviously no risk here, but it just felt like they had a game plan of blanking it. So they're just kind of looking to
But your game plan
complicate
can
things.
change.
Yeah.
But you usually need a reason for it to change. I.e. something that your opponent's done.
Like, only reason here is that there's no risk in playing it, but you know, if you see Sweden miss the peel here, they might come around and Sweden might freeze it, and then you might be able to, you might be forced in the end. So I think you just blank it here and just wait for the 8th.
Sweden are unlikely to miss that. Surely.
There's still no reason to put the corner guard up, I think.
We're basically back where we were.
You don't mind scoring 2 here, but it's pretty easy to blank it now.
Maria Pritz playing well. And the last stones, 82%. You can just see the Czech Republic and Denmark's score there, 6-4 to the Czech Republic. Denmark picking up 2 shots to close the gap. Anna Sidorova, the Russian skip, on 80% for this game. Looking a bit more relaxed about this shot.
And just going to force Pritz to play this hit on the other side. Don't think there's going to be too many problems for her though. Would like to sit in the house, force Sidorova to play the pick. That's good enough there.
Last stone of the 7th end. And the strategy that you suggested, Sandra, appears to be their strategy, the blanked end. And after 7, it's still Russia 4, Sweden 5. And looking at the time, about 26 minutes for the Russians and 28 minutes for the Swedes. So plenty of time. And I think there's a couple of blank ends. This is the calm before the storm.
You can certainly hope.
Going to see something spectacular very soon. Or perhaps a dreadful mistake.
Guess what's happened on Sheet B between the Czech Republic and Denmark.
Ja. Skulle behöva dra den om det går.
I said guess.
Över linan helst.
I suggest the Danes have pulled closer.
No. It's the Czechs that's picked up a score of 3 in the 7th end. Pulling away from the Danes. They're 9 shots to 4 now. Looking pretty strong for a medal.
Keeping the good form going that they've had most of this week. I wonder how significant that end will be for them. It's 8-6 between Finland and France.
Jag tror att vi kan ta den. 20. Ja, hyfsat. Ja! Hårt! Hårt! Nej! 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 Rent!
Looking pretty nice here from Maria Wennerström.
Wrestling right at the back of the house.
Ungefär som Majen. Typ. Нет! Нет! Ничего. Люся. Люся. Только Люся. Только Люся. Typ. И до конца. И до конца. И до конца. До конца. До конца. До конца. Щи.
But that's nicely played too.
Yeah, perfect draw from Fomina. And Sweden looking to run their own guard back here. So maybe just a bit tight on line here. Maria Wennerström. Could hear Sigfridsson calling on the sweepers just as she let it go there.
Подождите, дойти надо, дойти. Свип. О, вверх. Не-не-не-не, только Люся. О, отлично сам. Да. Ближе, свип. Våran är andra sten. 80.
You're watching live coverage of the Gruyère European Curling Championships at the Rifberg Leila Arena in Karlstad. Our featured game, Sweden against Russia. Sweden with a 5-4 lead. And the winners will play Scotland in tomorrow's final. We're getting to the business end of the game. And it still could go either way. What's your prediction for this end, Sander?
Again, could go either way.
I like putting you on the spot.
I'm not sure what to say. Russia with, I'm going to wait for a second here. Might score 2. That really set them up for it anyway. Nice double from Privikova. So it's the same thing we had, was it 2 ends ago, where Russia is looking good for 2. Just can't afford to make any silly mistakes. It's hard to predict if any of the players are going to be missing sample shots. You'll never know where those could come from. Russia should score 2 here, but just look at that perfect roll from Christina Bertup. July's shot and behind cover.
Yep, that was pretty tasty.
Might just be able to see this one actually on the other side here.
Yep.
Well, it's going to be quite tricky. Don't throw too many stones down that path through the game, and probably not too many in practice either. So
you're not going to really know what the ice is like there.
No. I think the ice is pretty consistent, but it might just be some fresh pebble out there, so I might just have to throw it with a wee bit more weight. So they're going for it here. Second prize might be to take the corner guard in.
He's got the best percentages of the team so far, so I hope I haven't put the curse on in that sense.
Looking pretty good. Couldn't quite hold the shooter. So while Sweden ponders over that shot here, just going to tell you that France picked up a steal of 1 in the 7th end, so looking closer over there when they play Finland in the challenge game, only trailing by 1 point now. Finland 8 shots to 7 with Hammer in the 8th end. Maria Pitts here with her first of skip stones in our 8th end of the semi-final, just sneaks by the guard. Super shot.
We're all holding our breath there. Look how close it was. Oh.
Probably a bit closer than necessary. But does roll pretty close to the center line, so it's going to be quite the long roll for Russia. So we might just see Russia not score 2 after all. Again, curling's unpredictable.
Well, you did put all these conditions on that prediction, so I'll let you off.
Again, just spending a bit of time in the hack, not being so decisive as you'd like a skip to be. She feels like she's unsecure about the ice, I would guess. And can't quite make the roll here. So you might just see Sweden go for the roll here. Force Russia to take a one. So can't quite make the roll in behind the corner guard, and we might just see our third blank in a row. But
that's what they're discussing.
Well, if they would blank here, it'd be nice to blank the next in as well. I think you might just call the timeout here, and if you're not sure, Thomas Lips can probably
Get the coach down.
tell you what to do. Might just be saving that for the very last end.
Well, if it goes from what we think, that could be quite a tense final end. And the coach's views, especially someone as experienced as him, will be invaluable. So it's definitely seemed more assured in their decision-making process. A lot of debate here.
Well, again, Anna Sodrova is only 21 years old. Doesn't have, although she has played more games than, well, more international games than these
More games
Swedish
at this
players.
level.
Yeah, but again, the Swedes have
Age on their side.
age, and they played many games against super teams back in Sweden. So I kind of have to say that Sweden is the most experienced team here.
And Russia have to get out and about because there aren't too many decent teams in Russia that they can play against or practice against.
I think she's going to go for the blank here.
And as you can hear from the crowd, that game between the Czech Republic and Denmark has finished. And we can tell you that it's a victory for the Czech Republic, and their fans are absolutely delighted. 9-4 to the Czechs, so they go into tomorrow's final. They missed out on the final, but they still got a chance of a medal.
Want to try that once more, Alison?
Yes. Congratulations to the Czech Republic. They have won their first ever bronze medal in the European Championships. Fantastic result for them, Sander.
Yeah, really, I'm really happy to see them. You can just look at their faces, and they're so happy. The brothers, sneaky little brothers, have played European curling championships so many times now. I can't even count them. Has to be, I don't know, 10, 12 times now. So just doing better and better every year. 3-4 page last year in Moscow. The 1-2 page this week, and picks up the bronze. So it's very nice to see.
Great to see other teams getting in the medals.
Yeah, I think many in the arena here I would like to see Czech on the podium, and now they can. You always kind of favour the underdog, don't you? And again, Denmark has the bronze from last year and the silver 2 years ago. So,
but they haven't been lucky this week. The Czechs, they played very well, and they played well in that game to secure the bronze.
Yeah, I just couldn't quite beat Sweden or Norway in the playoff stages. Probably a step behind them still, but on a good day, you could win over either, and they have in the past. So we'll just see what happens next year, I guess.
So one part of the equation in the men's competition is sorted. And the women's still to be decided. It's 5-all between Sweden and Russia. Russia picking up one in the 8th end to level up the scores.
Yeah, we're trying to blank. spent a lot of time figuring out what to do. They elected the blank, ended up with one. That's happens from time to time. It's not the end of the world for Russia, though.
Yep, a couple of ends to go.
If they could force Sweden to take one here, they'll be left with the same situation they were looking for, really, being one down with the last stone.
Margarita Femina, the second, 73%. She's been very consistent in this game, according to the stats.
So a bit shy on weight here. Sidorova just calling off the sweepers. You're gonna leave it as a guard. We're looking to come to the top of the 4.
She was thinking, how did that happen?
Now, Sweden's problem is there's a bit too many stones on the center line. Best case scenario for Sweden is blanking or taking 2 here. But you want to keep things pretty open.
Swedish fans making their presence felt.
Super shot. by Fomina. But does look like Sweden could hit here to lie two. Well, at least I got one prediction right, and that was that the game was going to be pretty tight.
Well, you said two. Did you say 2 blank tens? 3 blank tens, I think you said, and there were 2.
Okay, yeah, I was wrong.
Sweep!
79% for Privakova. She's gone up as the game's gone on. And that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, played some really good shots. I had one huge mistake back in the 6th end, I believe, where she drew it through the house to give up the momentum of scoring 2. But you can't be perfect. Well, you can, but it's pretty hard.
I dare say if you lose the game, you go back to these ends and you have a look and think, if only I'd got that. If only I'd done this.
Oh, I've done that so many times, Alison. So many times.
If onlys.
If onlys.
There's other times you've thought, I got that, and that's why. Or I got lucky. Which is a factor also.
Yeah, I only dwell on my mistakes and never look back on the good shots.
We're all very critical. Rather than you want to learn from them as well. Whatever you do. And these guys have played all these shots thousands of times, but no 2 are the same.
So, after that nice double by Privakova, Sweden are looking to score. Oh, well, doesn't seem to. Well, they're not lying 2 anymore, and with that centre guard up, they kind of have to try and get their deuce. Might just prove difficult to blank here now. Christina Bertrup can't quite make the roll. And behind cover.
Challenge game between Finland and France still going on.
The French are sneaking up on the finish, stealing on both the 7th and 8th end. Now it's 8 shots each.
High scoring game.
Yeah, Finland's only scored on 2 of those ends. Took a 5 in the 5th, as mentioned earlier.
If you're just joining us though, the Czech Republic secured their first ever medal in the European Championships, a bronze, after their 12-4 victory over Denmark. Comprehensive win over the Danes, and some celebrating no doubt in the Czech camp tonight. They might allow themselves a little celebration. The fourth, Maria Prytz for Sweden, 86%. She's been pretty good in this game. Always looks so assured.
Bra.
Hopefully that was going to roll over a little bit more though and get some protection. I know we have listeners and people watching from all over the world. So welcome to you. If it's your first sample of curling or if you're a regular. Top quality action from the European Championships in Karlstad. And it's Alison Walker and Sander Robag.
So Sweden is going to be first here to take the one. It's exactly what the neutral fan would like. Russia would be down by one with last on. The very thing I was hoping for a couple of ends back. But first, Maria Prytz needs to make this nose hit, last stone of the ninth end.
Försiktigt ren bara. Ja. Bara ren.
Which she should do without too many problems. And she does. And it is now after 9, Russia 5, Sweden 6. But it is the Russians who have the hammer going up the 10th end. And around about 12 minutes left for the Russians and just over 15 for Sweden.
Bra linje.
They have to complete the game within that time. If it goes to an extra end, then they get more time.
Kom igen nu. Lite till.
So what would be the Swedish strategy here, bearing in mind the Russians have the hammer? What's their thinking?
They're not gonna go too crazy, but you'll see them put up a centre guard here after the corner by Russia. For Sweden, it'd be pretty okay for them to give up one here and go to the extra with last on. So don't think they're gonna go out too hard for the steal.
And if it falls for them, they'll obviously take it.
Kan vi ta lite mindre is?
And there's no thought, oh, we might be playing tomorrow, let's get this over with. You've got to win this one. This has to be your whole focus. Whatever it takes.
Dra den nära då. Det är bra linje. Kom igen nu.
For Russia, obviously they would like to score 2 here and win the game, but I think you'll see Sidorova make sure to have a chance to score 1.
Линия скоро нужна будет, внимание, свип. Свип. О. Набрала. Не-не-не. Свип. Свип, да.
Pretty close to that centre guard. Doesn't quite get an angle onto the yellow. It's pretty much fully buried the red one as well.
Ja, de har ganska mycket att dra på. Ja, det är okej. Mellan dem.
Just having a wee laugh over the margin there. Almost lost it in the end. Now it looks like Sweden's going to guard this one. So they're going to be pretty aggressive. Maybe just looking to guard their way through the end here. Nice separation between the 2 yellow guards from Maria Wennerström. The Russians might just be tidying up a little bit here. Need to see some weight from Formina here.
We're in the 10th end of this tense semi-final between Sweden and Russia, playing for the right to face Scotland in tomorrow morning's final.
Bra linjer. Lite vidare. Lite vidare
6-5 to Sweden.
Ja, det är bra linjer.
Russia with the hammer.
Ja, just över det bra.
The last stone.
Ja, kör. Ja, mitt på linan. Lite till. Ja, räcker det. Bra. Bra. Sweep!
Oh, great shot by Formina. Such an important one too. Without a double on the guards here, it could be very difficult for Sidorova to get a deuce or even win the get the extra end. I think she's rolled far enough to the right to leave the out-turn draw as well.
Bara stanna, tror jag. Bara stanna. Ja, håll igång. Över linan. Bryt.
So now Sweden not quite as safe in putting up the center guard. If they do miss this one, the Russians might have a chance to lie to it. But that's a pretty perfect guard from Kristina Birchup.
Yeah, Supers did their stuff as well. They're doing all the right things, the Swedes.
Сильно. Чтобы вы не седали. Не раскрыть. Если нет, то просто дар. надо очень умудриться, самый-самый, я даже не знаю, как попасть. Вести сюда.
Looking content so far. Coach's bench.
Если что, ототрем.
Probably pretty nervous on the inside. It's harder to watch a game than play it yourself, really. If you're on the bench, you can't do anything to help the situation.
And these guys have all been there, so they know what it's like. And they'll be in these situations.
Privikova was looking for the run back here, but just gonna let it go there, realizing it would overcurl. A good thing, because they don't want to block off the out-turn draw here. Really, the only shot she's left with. And Sweden continues their super guarding play. Just looking to play the exact same shot here, Bertrup. I think that's good enough. We're not going to be able to get to the red and run it back onto the yellow, but it's closer to the house, so the run back is a bit easier. If you could catch this one a bit high side.
There you can see a few of the players up in the restaurant watching the curling, having a glass of wine, no longer involved. That's the way to do it.
A big shot from Privikova here. Maybe overswept it. No, great shot. Didn't quite get that roll towards the wing, but yeah, just a terrific shot, and I think Sidorova's going to be pretty relieved with it. Just gonna.
She could afford a little smile there.
Yeah, certainly took some pressure off her. She's looking to draw the forfeit for the extra. Now she might just be left with a bit of an easier shot. If Maria Pritz makes the roll here, she's only looking at a draw to the full 8 foot, really. So a bit more room for the last turn draw for Sidorova after that great shot. But we do have a couple of stones left. Barely gets by the guard. Actually rolls too far. And we'd like to see Russia just come around the guard now. Kind of a mistake there, rolling too far. Well, big chance for Russia to win it here. Sidorova can make a good draw around here. Just going to ask the question of Maria Pritz, and then just want to make sure to not come too deep here. She's in behind the tee line. You'll see Pritz just follow it down. Just top of the 8 foot, really.
It's all in the weight.
Even if you are only half in behind the guard, you might get the nice angle onto the yellow, meaning it'd be hard for Maria Pritz to play a hit on it. Might just jam on the winger.
Really important stone for Russia.
Well, this is looking a bit hot at the moment. It's going to slip all the way to the back, maybe even too far. Too late shot. Big mistake from Anna Sidorova. Such a good chance there.
And the weight was a concern. Perhaps the nerves just getting to her a little bit there.
Well, Sigfridsson has a call down. Bertrup and Wennerstrom just going to have a little chat over this shot now. There's more than 9 minutes on the clock, so plenty of time to discuss this potential last stone of the game for Sweden. And they have called a timeout, or as it's known as a coach interaction. Their clock will stop until the coach enters the ice, and then they have 1 minute with the coach, but their playing time will continue to run.
So after all the discussion, stone is thrown.
I think that's pretty much where they were looking to put that stone. So just probably wants Anna Sidorova to play the hit here for the extra. And you'll see the yellow stone to the left of our screen just there is lying second shot, so she can't afford to roll out. So a lot of pressure on Anna Sidorova, only 21 years old, although very experienced at this level. Needs to make the nose hit here for the extra.
If she doesn't, it is a Swedish win, and they are through to the final.
Oh, a little bit of panic here. Has she overthrown it? I don't think so. It's a nose hit. It's going to tie up the game at 6 each, and we head into an extra end.
Yep, relief in the Russian camp. Successfully executed. But they had the chance to win that end outright and the game. But they'll view it that they're still in it in an extra end. After 10, it's Russia 6, Sweden 6. And in the Finland-France game, the challenge match, it's now 10-8 to Finland. They picked up 2 shots in the 9th end.
Seems like they've cut down on the breaks here. Usually there would be 3 minutes, a 3-minute break before the extra end, but this time only 1 minute, so maybe they've changed the rules on that. No one ever let me know that. So we're going to be underway here pretty quickly, but what's going to happen is both teams will have 9 minutes to play the extra end, not adding the time they had left over from the first 10 ends. So they both start at 9 minutes, and they will have I think they will have one more coach interaction for the extra. That's how it used to be, but these rules change all the time, so.
Well, that's how I understand it. Swedish bench looking on.
I think was it Estonia, I think, in the B group that actually ran out of time in an extra end.
They
ran out of time in the extra before playing the last shot, having the last shot to win it.
So 9 minutes wasn't enough for them.
Pretty sloppy. 9 minutes should be more than enough to play an extra end. It's pretty straightforward, really, at least for the first half of it. What you're going to see here is Russia put up the centre guards. You'll see Sweden peel them off. They'll put it right back.
Similar to the previous
and
end.
Yep, and I'm just going to run some stones down, and then you'll see Russia make a move into the house. Well, we might just see mistakes as well, so again, you'll never know what's going to happen, but the last end in a tie game is often the most predictable as of how it's going to look. Poor stone placement from Sigfridsson. That stone really should have been at the top of the fort. Could be very useful for the Russians.
Katarina Galkina, the lead, 81%.
So Russia is just looking to make the most out of the free guard zone. You're not allowed to remove any of the guards until the 5th stone in the end. Well,
And they don't have the hammer, so they need to make use of this.
super setup play by Katarina Galkina. Two guards up. Good separation, both on the centre line. Now, some teams would prefer to play the tick shots in that situation, meaning you could move the centre guard without removing it from play, kind of neutralising it. But Sweden wanted a stone into the forfeit to start off with. They haven't really gotten a good shot here, so they are.
This is the one.
Yeah, they're going to kind of have to come in here to the top of the fort. And this is looking very short.
So one was too long and one was too short from Sigfridsson.
Pretty disastrous play, actually, by Sigfridsson.
That could impact big time.
You'd be better off throwing both through the house, actually. This is a great chance for Russia to win it now. 3 guards in play. Swedish stone at the back of the fort. Fomina can come around just to the top with the 1 foot here. Could be a great start for the extra end. He just has to come around the second centre guard. Oh, just going to pass it. Can they bring it all the way down, though? Super draw by Fomina.
Lovely, lovely shot.
That's the greatest start for the Russians here.
I can see it squeezy past that guard.
Super scrub. Super weight control. That's a very nice spot for Team Russia.
Yeah, they know that's a good one. So, Sweden, what can you do?
They might just be looking to play a hit on their own yellow here. Try and angle it back onto the closest centre guard.
She's having a good game, is Maria Wennerström.
Yeah, need a good shot here from the Swedish second. Ah, that's pretty good there. Takes off 2 guards, rolls away. Just need a couple more of those, and they'll be right back in the end. But
they made it difficult for themselves.
yeah, 2 pretty pure shots from Sigfridsson. Not something we usually see. 2 great guards by Galkina. Great draw by Fomina with his first one. Now just looking for the draw. Oh, sorry, the guard. Want to keep some separation here. Want to come to the center line. Doesn't quite get the line, but it's pretty good there.
Lite tunnare än förra bara. Visst har du den? Ja.
They might just have this run back though.
Jag kör 80 du.
So looking to pick off both the Reds here. Maria Wennerström, if she can make this shot, she's certainly made a big contribution. Looking pretty close. Just a bit unlucky there.
Bra. Так, сюда. Так. Хорошо. Только так, чтобы она... Да, вот так. Сюда.
Mila Privikova, Russian third, 79%.
Стирайтесь. Во. Нет, Рита. Рита. Только Рита. О. Ska vi ta den över då?
So just a bit heavy there from Lucy.
Spela clearingen. Ja.
Big chance for Sweden to remove a couple of Russian stones here. Bertrup looking for the double.
And this is the person you want in your team for these.
Nej. Kalla då. Det är bra.
Very close.
Если бы Раша заваливать, может даже вот так, наверное. Единственное, если только очень сильно перевалит, она может туда привести. Тогда у нас
Pretty close to making contact to that stone of the back four.
It was a whisker, wasn't it? Privikova for his second stone.
Отлично.
Pretty calm out there actually on the ice now.
Нет.
Especially the Swedes. They look maybe a bit nervous.
Ничего.
Another great shot from the Russians. Privikova finding her weight a bit better with her second attempt here.
Här ska vi lägga den.
Just looking at the line there. And the time.
Okej.
3 minutes. Oh, sorry, 5 minutes. Plenty of time for Sweden. I think 3 minutes will be enough for the Russians as well.
And the game between Finland and France has finished. Game one of the challenge match, and it finished with the Finns winning 10-8. So first blood to them. Best of three.
Yeah, they'll be playing the second game in the B arena, so it might be an advantage for Finland in the second. This was a very risky call by Sweden, running this one back. Really had to make it, and now we're going to be in big trouble. I'm not sure if I like that call, to be honest.
The writing could be on the wall for Sweden here.
They might be able to use the yellow again, though, if they see enough of it, but looking like the Russians might take this one. Yeah, that's pretty good there. Now, what's Sweden gonna do here?
Okej. Ja, det är inget problem. Vi spelar 20.
So big shot now for Maria Pritz. If she can't make this one, she might not even have a shot to win it with the last one. 87%, been playing pretty amazing. But
This is very difficult.
Yeah, very. Looks to be pretty close though. Just not enough. Had to be really close to the center guard. Maybe just swept it a bit too much. And I think you just have to put the guard up here on the left-hand side of our screen.
Just protect what you have. Block the route.
Pritz might be left with an out-turn draw. Yeah, I think he's there. We'll see Cedrova play the guard, and then Pritz will have to draw the out-turn pretty well.
This could still go either way. Will it be Russia? Will it be Sweden in that final tomorrow?
So did help a lot, I think, that first shot of Pritz being able to move the Russian shot stone back, as I do think she'll be able to play the out-turn draw now. Lots of rotation here. I think that's good enough there. Now let's have a look. Looks like he's there. There should be enough swing on it to be able to get there.
Ja, jag tänker mig en bara...
She has to go for it.
Nej, nu tror jag inte den gör. Jag tänker mig en bakkant. Ja, kanske 60.
Surely there would be enough swing on the ace here to
Va?
come around on the left-hand side as we see it. Got to be pretty tight to the guard, but still.
Mål här. 55 då, Maria.
I think she can make this.
She's not even looking at it though. She's looking at this red-yellow combination. As the stones are so tight together, the Swedes believe that they will get what we call the drag effect. When two stones are so close together, they kind of act like will act like one. So if you hit the red one on the left side, you'll actually get the yellow one to move to the right. But I haven't really seen how much separation that there is. There we can have a look.
But they need to be very close together for that to work, do they not?
Yep. Well, Swedes think is there.
Last stone of this 11th end. This is it. This is the one that determines who goes into that final tomorrow.
I'm sorry, they weren't looking at that shot at all, really. They were looking to come past it.
And it's a win for Russia. What a tussle that was in the last couple of ends. So close. They're into their first European final. They have got, I think, a couple of bronze medals, but they've never been in the final. And that is quite an achievement for this young Russian team. They will play Scotland. And Sweden will go into the game against Denmark to play off for the bronze. But what a win for Russia. There's the scores. Extra end. 7-6. It was nip and tuck all the way. But a brilliant performance from the Russian team.
So as mentioned earlier, we saw Czech Republic pick up the bronze after beating Denmark quite heavily, 12 shots to 4 in the bronze final. And I guess we said that the challenge game was over, but apparently it's not. They're in an extra end. France scoring 2 in the 10th. It's 10-10 after 10 ends, and Finland has last zone, so sorry about that. Finland still have a bit of work left to do to win it. But in our future game, we saw Anna Sidorova head into her first European final ever. Her teammates, however, won the gold back in 2006. But she'll be pretty happy to have led this team to the final now. 21 years old, Anna Sidorova. We might just have a few words with her in a couple of moments, so just stick around for that. And we will hope for a couple of exciting finals tomorrow morning.
Congratulations, Anna. Your first European final. Tell me, how does it feel?
Well, that's amazing, and I'm really proud of my team. And when I'm saying team, it's not only 4 players; it's also the alternate, which is really important. And this is our coaches and doctor and all the team. So I'm really proud, and I want just to thank everyone and to hug everyone. So I'm really happy.
You've won bronze. What would it mean to you and to the team and to the country to win gold?
Well, as you know, girls at 2006 they won gold, so probably for them it will be the second one, and for me it will be the first. And the only thing which I want to do while I'm playing curling is to win everything that I can, and that's like really a dream for every professional sportsman. So that really means a lot for me.
It was very tense out there towards the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was really tired, and Sweden played really good, and thanks for the game. It was really exciting.
What do you think about facing Scotland again? Because you obviously lost to them just before. It's a whole new game.
Was as you remember, it was also tight, and they won only in the last end. And the percentages of my team were not so good as it could be. So I think that now we have a bit more confidence. So now we're have medals for sure, and we can play even better.
Well done today. You're good to watch. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks for doing that.
on, so hopefully there weren't any listeners for that very exciting round.